Hello and welcome to my very second unboxing from the Easton Press. This one purchased on the heels of Neil Gaiman's Nazi Boys is the Sword of Shannara or Shannara, depending on whether or not you say it the correct way or the incorrect way. Is the Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. This is a title that I was really looking to get on the secondary markets. The prices are definitely a bit higher, like they usually are for Easton Press. But then, lo and behold, a few weeks back, they said, hey, you know what? We're going to do 500 more. And you know what I said? I said, hell yeah, take my money. Because it's a little bit cheaper than the secondary market. Sure, it's not the first printing. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. I'm not picky. So, if you watch my other Easton Press video, you'll know that the style of these is all pretty much the same. They're all kind of leather-bound volumes. Nice gold page, gilded edges, little spine hubs. Kind of like old world volumes. I'll take it. I like it. It's not my favorite aesthetic, but there are worse aesthetics that a book could have. So I'll take it. Why not? So inside we have a note. A note about the Sword of Shannara. A nice little card stock they always do there, and the author. So one of the interesting things, I don't own the previous one. But I know that this one is from Signed Modern Classics. And I believe the other one was from like Masters of Fantasy or Fantasy Classics. I'm not really sure, but that's what my understanding was. So we have the Certificate of Authenticity, signed by Terry and his wife. There we go. Signed back in 1999. Yeah, there we go. Masterpieces of Fantasy. Which is very interesting because, obviously they found these certificates lying around and they're like, oh man, we got these extra book plates or extra sheets. And presumably that indicates to me that maybe this signature page is also, oh yeah, this one says Masterpieces of Fantasy, which leads me to believe that these signature pages are also from some pile somewhere. The glue is a little tense on the tip in there. That's like, woo! It's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Has illustrations, or I guess a frontispiece by Doug Beekman. Look at that. I like that. Yeah, it's glue's a little tense up in front there. Got the nice end papers, as you can expect with Easton Press, because the end papers are identical in every single one. Like I said, they're very uniform. But one of the interesting things, in my opinion, is that if they found these signatures that have been in storage for 20 years, I'm almost wondering, because I've seen photos. I'm starting my thoughts halfway through and ending my thoughts halfway through. I've seen photos of the signature page of the other version. And I don't believe it said Masterpieces of Fantasy. I think it just said, this edition has been signed by Terry Brooks. But I don't think it had that header piece. I think it was just kind of a different page, which surprises me, because if they found this for 20 years, you'd think it would match the existing one. Unless, maybe they printed, 500 of these, and he signed 500 of these, and then the damn thing got lost somewhere, wound up in some bin in a basement for, 21 years. And while that one was lost, maybe they said, you know what, can you sign another 500? And they reprinted them, and he signed another 500, and then they found these ones. That's just a theory. I don't know. Feel free to prove me wrong in the comments below. Like I said, I don't have the original version. If you want, you could send me the original. I'll compare them side by side. But anyways, speaking of comparisons, I'll let that hang out a little bit there. Speaking of comparisons, I did this for the Anansi Boys one, and I don't have a Folio Society edition of any Terry Brooks novels, which is a shame. Folio Society, if you're listening and you're huge fans, you should definitely do some Terry Brooks. But anyways, for us U.S. folks, we do have a special edition of his novels. This is the Grim Oak Press edition of The Sword of Shannara. Love the slipcase. Nice kind of leatherette material. The house, the book, kind of the same feel as... Oh, the other ones were kind of cloth, I believe, of the Raymond Feist ones. They weren't like a leather material like this. I know they did a newsletter earlier about the slipcases for the oh my god, Broken Empire. And apparently that's a leather one as well, which I'm all for. Anyways, artwork by Mark Simonetti. I have this dust jacket framed in the other room. It is just beautiful. I got a spare with one of my books, and I'm like, you know what? Framing it. And then I framed all the other Mark Simonetti dust jackets as well. They just look nice. Beautiful, outstanding work. I'm sure I could probably go to his page, and you could probably buy an actual print of the image, but I'm poor from buying all these books, so I will use the dust jackets instead for my artwork. Anyways, the Grim Oak Press one, similar to the Easton Press one in that it has a leather binding. I kind of like the design better with the Grim Oak Press one. The nice black leather binding has a nice little shine to it, especially with the silver image stamped on. It does not have the raised spine hubs like the Easton Press one does. I mean, the Easton Press one doesn't. The spine hubs are just decorative. But one of the nice things, you got a map. Look at that. Look at that map. One of the best packages. And then you have the signature page signed by Terry Brooks and Mark Simonetti, of which my copies are number 716, which coincidentally is our area code out here in Western New York. And he's got some illustrations throughout as well. Woo! Just beautiful stuff. Breathtaking work. This title from Easton Press, this title from Grim Oak is sold out. The Sword is sold out, but I believe all the other titles, Elfstones, Wish Song, and First King, I believe are all still in stock. So you might be able to find, the Sword of Shannara on the secondary market. I did have a PC copy, but I regrettably had to sell because I'm poor. But you can find a copy if you want to complete your collection, or you can build your collection going forward. And the really nice thing is that they have a Kickstarter starting on February 1st for the Heritage of Shannara series, which I am all for. Oh my god, they're gonna take my money. We're gonna meet that goal in a day. Then we're gonna just push on through to the stretch goals. We're gonna get all the stretch goals. Help me out with that. But anyways, seriously, so you can still buy copies of the Easton Press Sword of Shannara as of today. There were still copies available online. I don't know how many copies there were. I know there were 500. I don't know how many are left, I should say. And as I said, you can always supplement the rest of the series from Grim Oak Press. Or you can just go to their site and buy everything that's on there, because they are freaking amazing. And one of the leading publishers of fantasy. So, you're welcome for the suggestion. But anyways, so there's two titles. Nice little comparison between the two. Unfortunately, like I said, unless you want to buy a secondary market, you're stuck with the Easton Press title, but you still aren't going to go wrong. You get a nice signature. It's 21 years old. How about that? This signature can legally drink. Well, actually, no, it can't. It can... Oh, yeah, no, it can. Because it was 99. It's 2021 now. Yeah, so this signature can legally drink. How about that? So, even if you, the viewer, cannot legally drink, your book can. So, you can take that to the bank. Don't take it to the bar, because they're not going to help you out there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Support your local independent bookstores and these small press publishers, and we will see you next time.